Hi friends, we are going to be working with a fun new bundle from the holiday catalog, and it is called Alpine Adventure. I cannot take credit for the design I'm about to do. I will link to the original poster down below, but I am putting my own spin on it. So I will just show you what it is we're going to make. It's in a clear plastic envelope, so sorry for the glare. But we're just going to use, we're going to make it a little front doorstep with the sled and a few of the things from the At Home With You stamp set and dies. So I hope you enjoy. And without further ado, let's get our craft on. I've got the Big Shot here, and I am using a soft suede card base and a Mossy Meadow matte, and we are going to start off by embossing our wooden siding here. So it only needs to go through once, and I'm not going to move it out of the way yet because we do have a couple of things that we will be cutting, not right away, but there is our siding. Isn't that gorgeous? Everything's gorgeous, but actually maybe we will move this out just a little bit. There is going to be a bit of coloring, and I'm going to use, you can see I've reused my grid paper. I will try to make this coloring as quick and easy as possible. So I am using Stampin' Blends. I think I am going to do Cherry Cobbler as the door. I'm having a hard time finding my light one, dark one. Poppy Parade, there we go. Now with the door, on this one you can see that I left the windows basically intact. It's all part of the door. And I have not decided what I'm going to do with this one. If I'm going to do it where you can see the light inside or not. But I always do this part so that it looks recessed. Whoops. And then put some there because obviously there's going to be a shadow. When I'm doing this, I always try and think of where my light is going to be coming from to try and make it look as realistic as possible. I don't think someone's going to tear my card apart if they don't agree with the lighting decisions, but I think it helps to make it look that much better. There's not a whole lot of shading we're going to do here. But like I said, anywhere where we've got these kind of window frames, I will use my dark Cherry Cobbler. When you're using blends, always be sure you have something under your surface because as you can see, it goes right through. And you can keep layering this so that you've got more depth. There's no wrong way to do it. And we will do the same thing we did with our little candelabra. We're gonna have our light coming from over here, so it will be darkest over here because this is where our light bulb is essentially. So we'll blend that. And again, we'll use our light pineapple punch over here. There we go. Not perfect, but that is okay. So that is our coloring done. You can see my red is starting to bleed together a little bit there. I could use my color lifter, but not overly concerned about it right now. So let's glue down our siding. That brought me right back to the Three Little Pigs nursery rhyme. Now, before we put our door down, we need to make sure that we are going to have enough room for our little welcome mat, so I would suggest putting that down now. Don't put it too far off to either side, because remember, we do have pieces on either side. We're going to have our little arrangement over here, and we will have our sled on this side. So just don't go too far either way, or you won't have enough room. Okay, so we won't glue any of this down yet. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going to leave too little room for this little welcome mat. Got our little lantern there. So back to the big shot. This bundle has some great stamps and thinlits. So we are going to use, I don't know that I'm going to use it on the card because we may not have room, but we've got the snowshoe, whoops, and we've got the, well, we've got this sled, but that one definitely isn't going to fit. So we are going to do this one, but first we are going to stamp on it. And this time, instead of using a dark brown wood, I am using this kind of whitewashed wood. So I will use, let's use gray granite. It's a nice neutral. Stamp it off. There we go. Had I stamped right on there, I think it would have been far too dark. Set that aside. I'm running it through the big shot. I'll just use a tiny little piece of washi tape that I have set aside for this exact reason. So we'll line this up on here. Just put our little piece of washi tape. That on there, and then we're also going to do our second snowshoe. I did cut one out already, and this one has a tendency to move, so we are going to grab another little piece of washi tape, and this one is fresh off the roll, so just kind of try and get most of the stick off, otherwise it will take the top layer of paper off. And then just run that through. I realize you can't see a whole lot of the big shot, but I don't want it to take up the whole screen. So here is our little snowshoe, and if you do go through twice, it gets every single piece out. If you just go once, then you have to use your bristle brush to get them out, or your paper piercing tool. So I do like to put it through twice. Now the other thing I'm going to do before I put these thinlits away is I want this little wreath. And I also want this adorable little bow, and we are going to use some glimmer paper for that. I'm thinking gold. See if we can get a little tiny piece out here. That'll do. Now because this glimmer paper is so thick, make sure you run this through at least back and forth, if not more. Okay, so our cute little wreath is ready. And our little bow. Isn't it cute? Okay, tuck that back in there. These ones are garbage. There's one more little bit of stamping, and that is the wreath. So we'll grab this again. And there are two wreaths. There's one with the berries and one with the leaves. So we will grab, let's do Mossy Meadow. Now I cut this out first, but you could certainly do it the other way around. Stamp it first and then cut it. Very cute. Whoops. And then you've got the berries. And we'll use Mary Merlot for that. And I kind of want them to be offset from where I did the leaves, but no biggie if it doesn't work out like that. It's just the cutest. Everything is like small scale. Whoops. So I did find that the first time I did this, I had to let a block sit on there for a minute or so. Let's get our little sled. And you can take your pick. You can use the sled, you can use the snowshoes, kind of liking the snowshoe colors versus the whitewash sled. So we could do it like that. So that gives us some room. We'll glue our door down. You could pop it up on dimensionals if you really wanted. Line that up with that welcome mat. All of this technically could be popped up on dimensionals, but I put it all flat. Oops. Glue on my finger. one on there for a moment. We've got, I must have put glue on the wrong spot. We'll use a glue dot for that. Okay, and you could put a bow on here somehow, but I don't want to have the gold bow on my wreath and then on the snowshoes. I want them to look like they've just been used and someone has come in for a hot chocolate or something to warm up. In hindsight, they'd probably be standing the other way, but that's all right. Actually, maybe since this one isn't adhered yet, we'll have one up, one down. There we go. I'm just going to use a tiny little glue dot for this bow. Put it right on there. So that is that so far. Now you can see what I mean by having this little, like it just seemed empty there. And I could have put something up there, but you can tell that when I go to put that on, it touches the lantern, it touches the sled, and it just doesn't look realistic. So we're gonna leave it like that and call it done. And you can see this little bit of adhesive that I've got here. To get rid of that, I can just use an adhesive eraser, and because it's kind of deep down in there, I'm not gonna get a whole lot of results, but good enough. So those are the two cards. I hope you have enjoyed, and I hope that this has inspired you to take a closer look at the Alpine Adventure set. I thank you for stopping by, and if you haven't already hit that big subscribe button below, please consider doing so, and you can see a new video each and every Friday. Bye, friends.